no matter what genre you decide to do it, whatever you want to go into, I don't care. It's dubstep, it's EDM, it's trance. Just be patient.
Hey Zouk family, it's Friday afternoon and that means we get to meet another international superstar and one for the trance family. We're going to be chatting to Mike EFEX over in California, another friend from the Cold Harbor Recordings base camp, and
Yes.
another person who Markus speaks very highly of. Mike, how have you been?
Hey man, good. Doing great, as good as I can be, locked down like everyone else, but busy in the studio, of course. So
let me quiz you. It's a very difficult time for everyone. It's also a time where a lot of people have been given the chance to use that time wisely. And what have you been doing with the time during lockdown?
just trying to upgrade my stuff. I know I've been headed more in the techno direction, so I'm trying to find the good middle ground between the trance and the techno, sound. So that's kind of been my main thing. I've been experimenting back and forth with sounds and stuff. So
Mike, let me ask, for those who might not be as familiar as I am with your stuff, how did you end up getting into DJing in the first place? And then where did the production side come into it? And why trance in the first place?
Well, this goes back very while ago. Let's see, probably back in 97. I was a little kid. I was around 12, 13. We used to have this local DJ. He would, DJ weddings and like a mobile DJ. And he was like our main guy. Any event in town, he was the DJ. So I always saw him, and I always saw him, he was in a box, like, old school. And I would always see him DJ. And then I just kind of, got to know him. And then he would, take me on stage and I would just kind of look at him. So he influenced me, and then as I got older, I want to say around 2000, 2001, I started getting into the rave scene. That was the golden era of the rave scene. I was still a little kid, so I would go to those all ages underground warehouse parties, and and then I started building the sound, started learning how to DJ. I was kind of producing here and there, but nothing serious. But yeah, I just I started off with hard house. That was the style back then. Hard trance, with Yoji and some of the the old school hard trance, Marco Bailey. And so and then I want to say around 2002, 2003, I started just I would lock myself in my room and just go through programs and software. I started with Acid Pro, in the early days, and just self-taught myself, and I already have a musical background, so it was I just needed to learn the technical aspect of it. So I started making melodic house. I was all over the place, and then it's a long journey, so. And then in 2005 I discovered Markus. I saw him at the Love Parade in San Francisco, and literally overnight my sound changed. I literally I discovered progressive, the progressive side of trance, and just and I spent the next 3 years trying to perfect my sound, so, and then from then on, just that's part of the journey.
The rest is history. You touched on good points. I would love to see Mike's mobile disco. We could get you into the wedding disco. That would be phenomenal.
Oh man.
Get you with some spinning moving lights and stuff. That would be phenomenal.
I have old videos of me DJing like old raves, underground raves. I used to throw me and my friends, so back in the vinyl days and stuff. So maybe I'll clips later.
Yeah, share them with us. And Markus is a great inspiration to a lot of us. Markus is one of the reasons why I do what I do today. I love his sound. I love the fact that he's a chameleon. He can adapt to a change in music very fast, and he can play to room perfectly. So Mike, let me ask you. You've cited Markus. What else inspired you to get into trance? Was there any other names that drove you in this direction?
Well, the names that back in the day, Van Dyke, everyone, Oakenfold, the main guys, the main superstars of that era but mostly I think because I come from a classical background, and then actually I'll go back one more time when Robert Miles released Dreamland. his album. I actually I fell in love with that album, you know, and then I didn't really know trance. I just know it was melodic, kind of classical dance music, you know, and I was like, okay, well, and then I started building into it. I discovered ATB, so you know, it was a long time ago. And but yeah, I think my classical, just being classically trained, it automatically just came to me because I know, house back then, it was mostly Latin house and a lot of, it was kind of funky and stuff, and I wasn't really into the funky house stuff. So and I was drawn towards it in the classical aspect.
Can you do some solid trance remixes of Hans Zimmer? That would be a phenomenal sound.
Sure. Yeah. I've done a lot of. I've actually done a few scores. I mean, obviously nothing big, but I've done a couple like independent soundtracks myself. So I did a lot of waves. Yeah.
So Mike, let me ask you this, and I'd love to pick the brains of the DJs who have made it, the guys who have come out and released. So if there's people watching this now who are eager to get into production, what's your advice for the starting blocks? Because you taught yourself.
Yes. I would say patience, for sure. Patience. Really, and no matter what genre you decide to do it, whatever you want to go into, I don't care. It's dubstep, it's EDM, it's trance. Just be patient, and just polish your sound, take notes, look at the people that you look up to and just, listen to them, make sure, look at their structures, the way they, layer things, and you're not going to do it overnight, so just patience. Patience is a big thing because, a lot of people, they rush into it and like, oh yeah, okay, I'm going to make the song and I'm going to be big, and it kind of doesn't work that way. It took me years. It took me almost 7 years to be signed, from the day I started learning production, so it was a long time.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
And then you end up having a more polished sound. You end up kind of knowing what you want to do. So instead of jumping around,
So let me ask you, Mike, for the followers that we have that may be newly affiliated to your music, what tracks would you recommend they check out to get a better understanding of your sound?
I would say, oh my God, there's a lot. There's a lot of artists. I would say maybe Spectre, some of the newer techno artists, that I've been really, looking up to. Anna, she's a great producer. Anna, Weska, those guys are all, legit. And also, on the trance end, I looked up to Elevation. He's also part of Markus, Cold Harbor, an old school veteran. Started with Markus, and I would say look into him, on the more trancier side of things. Other than that, I don't know. I have a pretty hybrid sound, so it's very hard to point in one direction.
Like I said, I'm a big fan of your mix that you did, year-end mix on the Cold Harbor podcast, which is something I recommend people check out. And I find that the podcasts are great because you get not just a feel for your own music, but other music that you feel blends well with your music. So I think the podcasts are fantastic way. Getting to know you, Mike, as an individual outside of the booth. So how would you, during the lockdown, what else would you fill your time with? How else are you keeping yourself sane during this period?
Oh man, well, I don't know about sane actually, but I had my second child.
Oh, congratulations!
So I had my boy. Thank you. So I've been I'm a family man, so I've been just taking care of them. Trying to they're not in school. I'm sorry, they're not in school, so everything's locked down. So you got to keep them busy. So I've been spending a lot of time with family. We try to go outdoors as much as we can, and yeah, so it's just been with family and then doing yard work. So I've been designing just doing stuff, whatever I can find, that I never had time to do before. So, so that's pretty much it. And then whenever I have the chance, the kids are asleep, I go to the studio.
Well, once again, congratulations. It's phenomenal to hear that your family is blooming. I always ask, before I let you go, because I really appreciate you taking the time internationally across oceans to talk to us. I always love to ask a few questions to you guys. Number one, for our fans and followers here in Malaysia, Singapore, Hong Kong, if ever they get on a plane and they head over to California, as a local tour guide, what do you recommend they check out?
California, I would definitely do. I mean, the beaches. I would, take them to the beach. I don't know if you guys heard, the famous In-N-Out burger. I would take you to In-N-Out. Yeah, I mean, California is beautiful, man. It's just so nice. There's so much to see. I would just, it's a beautiful place. I don't know if you've been before, but
I've never been, certainly, man. I spoke to Dave Nevin in Los Angeles as well. He gave me some great recommendations. Any nightlife spots you recommend?
I know the main ones that we always did as far as Cold Harbor that's really close to me is Avalon. Hopefully everything will open up soon. I would recommend Avalon, for sure. To come check out. Hopefully we'll have maybe a Cold Harbor night there, or Markus is in town or something. I would recommend that. It's a great club, big, huge, beautiful club. As far as nightlife, that's pretty much it. I mean, there's so much to see. There's a lot to see, so it would be fun. They would not be bored.
I take you up on the offer of a tour guide one day for sure.
Yeah.
My second to last question, which I always thoroughly enjoy asking, is Mike EFEX is going to represent the USA at the Olympics. What sport will it be in?
Oh, wow. Probably soccer.
You're not the first to say that.
Water polo is a clear second. I played both, but soccer would be my main. I grew up playing soccer, so my dad played professionals. Yeah.
What's the position?
I would do left forward.
Wow.
Left. Yeah. My dad played for 30 years for Denmark.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. So he taught me when I was a soccer, for sure.
So then it begs me, who's your team? Which team do you support?
Manchester United. Yeah.
At least you didn't say Liverpool. I can forgive you. I was reaching for the disconnect button, but you didn't say Liverpool.
No. It was okay. Yeah, I'm a Manchester United guy. Yeah, I love them.
And my last question is, will you come visit us in Malaysia next year?
Oh, I'd love to. Yeah, if hopefully everything is, okay, I would love to. I mean, I'm bored here in the studio. I'm ready to, I'm ready to go out there. So wherever they will welcome me, it will be a pleasure.
Have you played in Asia before?
No, I've played in Eastern Europe a lot, but as far as that's pretty much mainly, I played in Budapest, I played in, France, a few other places, but no, not in Asia. I would love to. That'd be great.
There's a milestone to hit right there.
Oh, yeah. Hopefully, if they like that dark sound, maybe one day.
Well, Mike, I really appreciate you taking the time to chat to us. It's been a pleasure. Thanks so much also for the mixes that I've enjoyed. I encourage everyone to check them out. Really awesome sound, awesome to get lost in your imagination with. I listen to them when I go running every day, and I listen to the same podcast multiple times without getting bored. Congratulations on becoming a dad again, and we look forward to hopefully meeting face to face next year.
Oh, definitely, man. Thank you guys so much for having me, and make sure to check out my new single, Shadow and Flame. So it's a good hybrid of what I produce.
So Mike, that raises a good point before we go. If people want to check out your music, they want to get your new releases first, where is the best place to check it out?
Definitely Beatport, the main website. If they don't, they can go to Spotify, just search for Mike EFEX. They have my entire playlist there. That's I would recommend the most, consistent, I guess, portals. So Beatport, if you want to purchase, I have everything everywhere. So YouTube, I have a lot of the samples on YouTube. So
you stay safe, look after your family. Congratulations again, and we'll be in touch.
Definitely. Thank you, Joseph.
Take care, my friend.
Bye, guys. See ya. Bye.